Good afternoon. Hopefully I can keep you awake for the next few minutes. Does the clicker work? Yes, it does work. So in essence, there are a few issues that we need to discuss. Why build more Gautrain? And for me, I tell you today, in 2050, 80% of the world will live in cities. And as they live in cities, we are a province that is car mad. And when you understand how car mad we are, out of every 10 people, 5 people in Gauteng have a car. Or looking at it properly, out of every 1,000 people, 450 have a car. Now, what that means is that you're going to have problems. Public transport is not doing so well. Over the years, you can see we've gone from where it was 50% of mobility in the province to where it's now 44%, and I think it's now 33% or something of that sort. All our freeways are going to have a problem soon. And in subsequent slides, I will show you the challenge that occurs. In 2037, you're going to have most of the freeways running at 20 kilometers an hour. Now, it's about connecting people to opportunities. How do we do exactly that? There are no silver bullets to this thing, so you cannot do the simple things. So it's about mobility ecosystem that actually functions very well and creates value from the sum of the parts. And ultimately, it's about balancing investment in avoiding tomorrow's crisis, but investing in today's challenges. Avoid prioritizing investment only in what's easy to do. Because everybody can say to you, let's build another road. But very few people will tell you, let's build another railway line. So ultimately, as we continue on, this is the rail network that we have. The red bits that you see on this, it says to you, next year in 2035, the amount of time you spend traveling in the province will increase by 37%. So let's do the maths. If you already travel 2 hours, 37% of that, it will be the extra amount of time that you travel for you to get to wherever you. Well, it doesn't get better. In 2037, it will increase by 75%. Now, literally, if you travel 2 hours today, you'll be traveling 3 hours and a bit more in 2037. We need to define something. What is smart mobility? Smart mobility is about effective and efficient mobility system utilizing the appropriate technologies. This graphic tells you that on the one end is if you're traveling long distances, you need to use rail. If you're going to carry more people, you need to use rail. There is no other way of doing it. At the current moment, we're carrying more people with the one technology that you're not supposed to carry people with. On the bottom end of that graphic, you can see buses and what do they call it, and taxis that we use today are the inappropriate technology for what we're doing. If you're going to move more people, you gotta use rail as a whole. Now, ultimately, we have the network extensions as you know them. But we have what we call the Gauteng Super Network. Something is wrong with the manner in which this graphic is displayed, but we are where we are. And this is the Gauteng Super Network. And the Gauteng Super Network comprises of various lines of heavy rail, trams, light rail, and inclusive of other systems of what do they call it, of mobility as a whole. In essence, it's a province that is trying to get itself moving all the time. What is the bigger picture? We talk about mobility that empowers the economy. It's while focusing on connection between various provinces and bits and pieces, we have to create a transformational regional development. It's about the scale of impact. If you look at certain things, it's about you ensuring that you create ecosystems and accessibility to activity nodes. High-speed rail does that better than anything else. And you create precincts in and around your stations and interconnect the flow of people and goods through what you have to do. It's about a multi-stranded development and reaching much more of a bigger catchment area. It's about you looking at how can we create a better way of being able to do things. I said to you, this is about mobility that empowers an economy. It's about shared success through better connectivity. You know, polycentric transformative economic corridors are important to us. It's about diversifying your economy and ultimately benefiting the people as a whole. And when you look at a shared success through better connectivity, when you connect through 2 points with a railway line, what you actually do, you actually scale up those 2 points and the economic activity when you look at it in that way. On the second one, it's not about the 2 points only. What it does is it actually interconnects the bits and pieces that are in between. And those economic nodes also grow. The best way for you to be able to create is to catalyze economic sectors and diversification is by building a railway line. Railway lines are better off in creating a better way of looking at your investments and your industrialization policy as a whole. But ultimately, it's about the common good for everybody. Railway lines actually empower people. They create a world in which people can actually live in other places, but then still travel and traverse the whole places in an easy manner. It's about us future forwarding ourselves in an African way. How do we build railway lines in such a way that in actual fact they fit in the area where they're supposed to be? When you look at it properly, it's about directing economic growth in a way that brings spatial transformation. It's about footfall that creates market opportunities and small business successes. It's about you creating a human experience that goes beyond just generally the normal way of connecting places. If you look at building new railway lines, we're talking about places that you're going to have to transform. There are places that you can renew, and there are places where you create from scratch. Some of our stations are going to be places we create from scratch. Some of them are going to be places we renew. And then some of the places will be transformational. Now, when you look at it in urban design principle, it's about networks towards accessibility, maximizing pedestrian connectivity, social inclusion, urban form identification, mixed use, diversification, and adding value to the spaces, and creating economic hubs all around. This is one of our stations that are coming up on the new line. If you know Soweto and you know where the Jabulani Theatre is, the station is going exactly near there. Obviously, every time I bring up these maps, everybody starts thinking, where's my house here? It's not there. This is Soweto, you don't live there. Hope I have a pointer. Does this? Yes. So if you look at it, this is the site. This is the current Jabulani Mall sitting over here. This is the current theater. And if you do it right, this is what happens next. You could easily create a city of this scale in and around a very, very small place. But if you look at it properly, what we're doing, the Gautrain line will come through from this end here. This is the Prasa line here. And as we develop the whole area, none of these parts get left behind. It is about inclusive growth and inclusive development that then ensures that we can then be able to rebuild places like Soweto. This is a closer look at the whole area. The current area that you know is the theater, which sits here just in between those two buildings. And this is the amphitheater that's there. That's the Prasa station location at this point in time. And the whole precinct gets connected together. The station sits under this building here. The Gautrain station sits under that building there. Looking at it from another direction, this is what's important. Done properly, we can actually build a place as big as Sandton itself. And we can do it in an area where, at the current moment, there's not that much economic activity. Looking at the same thing in a different manner, this is the scale of Sandton, and we are actually developing in such a way that it will be much bigger than that. And this is us building it at a very conservative form. This is about adopting a holistic approach, increasing potential for cities along corridors for them to prosper, redirecting movement of people and goods. Instead of moving people from Soweto into the inner city and into Sandton, create the economic activity there. And ultimately, this fits in neatly with our smart mobility principles for 2030 and our priorities as a whole as a province. It's about convenience and optimization, obviously making sure that technology saves us all, and then sustainable value creation and urban efficiency. With that, I thank you.